Okay, shall we get started, Kendall?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Once again, if you're just getting on, I'm Connie. I'm the executive director for Detroit 2030 District, and I wanted to give like a 2-minute overview before we go ahead and get started. Um, Hopefully, it'll be something new for those of you who uh, join us quite often. That is quite repetitive, but there's always new people at our calls too. So if you are familiar with us, you know that we're now up to 59 million square feet, which makes us the third largest 2030 district in our network, which is 24 different cities. We have about 470 buildings enrolled. We have approximately 42 businesses as professional stakeholders. 2 of them are on here today speaking. We also have the opportunity for stakeholders to be a statewide member. And we have about 7 or 8 companies doing that currently. And then we have over 40 nonprofits that we team up with. And everybody's logo and link to their website can be found on our website, which is 2030district.org/Detroit. Or if you just go to 2030district.org, you can see all of the districts. I just wanted to mention some of the programs that we've been running and partners that we have. We've been working with MSU on providing some grant, actually a grant for them, but some free energy audits for manufacturers. So if you have any questions or want to learn more about that, you can reach out to myself or for Kendall. Kendall's been working long and hard for many years with the Energy Waste Reduction Committee, which is under the City of Detroit Green Task Force Group on a benchmarking ordinance for the City of Detroit. This map shows some that are around the country, and it's finally moving after several years of hard work. It is now with Kendall. I hope I don't botch this, but it's with the council. You can see, jump in if I don't have it right. But there's a lot going on, and I believe that the mayor has finally jumped on board, and we're expecting this benchmarking ordinance to pass at some point in Detroit. It will be specifically for the city-owned buildings first before it goes out to the public. But if you're a member of Detroit 2030 District, don't fret. We're here to help you comply. It's not anything that should be too difficult, but we are here to help our members. If you're a building member with us, this is new, and I just wanted to mention this for 2024. We're growing exponentially with members and still trying to find funding to keep up with the need of what we do in Detroit. But in the meantime, we have split our program up for building members from a free membership to a paid membership. The paid membership is now $500 and includes what you see there. You don't have to memorize this. You can always reach back out to us and we'll give you some more information. But if you're a building member with us, you will need to make the decision which route you would like to go. This just helps us keep to be able to offer a lot of the resources that we've been offering to our members. So we felt that it was a necessary thing that we had to do to keep afloat. So it's not, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem for our members. $500 a year for all these services is still extremely reasonable. So keep your eyes open for that change. We have been working closely, obviously, with DTE regarding the DTE hub, and most of you are familiar with it. So it's where they take the data directly from their energy bills into Energy Star Portfolio Manager, which allows us to aggregate all of our data. It allows our members to see their energy usage and work towards reductions. So we're happy that this has been going on. Right now, you do still have to be a member of Ann Arbor or Detroit to participate, although I think Grand Rapids is jumping on shortly. This may go or should be going out to all consumers at some point, probably next year. We're still running our House of Worship program. In fact, we have our last House of Worship meeting in person sorry, I'm drawing a blank on which one it is, but it's in person next week. If you have any interest, please let me know. We have about 25 members in this program, and then we have a special smaller program called Treasure Hunts. So let me know if you have any questions on that. Please keep your thoughts on doing an energy challenge, participating if you have a building in our program. That is part of what that Energy Star Portfolio Manager will allow you to do. And with Kendall's help, we can get you into this program. Once it's uploaded, you never have to upload it again, and you always can be eligible for this Detroit Energy Challenge Award. Our breakfast is always in June and will be again, I believe, this year. And this coincides with Michigan Battle of the Buildings. So it's been an exciting program. We're continuing. And last but not least, we have a new program for our building members for EV charging stations. The pre-applications are now open. You can find it on our website, and I'll be sending it out next week to our building members. This is an opportunity to apply for a very, very reduced rate charging station to be installed at your building. It's through all of these people here, including Michigan Economic Development Corp, which I don't even have their logo up here, so I'm sorry for that. I'm going to have to fix that. But anyways, this is very exciting. Been working on this over a year, so happy to bring this to our members. And this is just our community members. We can't do this on our own, and we thank all of our partners. I know there's a lot to look at here, so they're all on our website, and these are our funders. We thank them, as well as all of the businesses that support us, because we would not be here today without our companies that support us financially to bring this program to our members. That's for sure. And this is how you get involved. So it's easy to find us. We are in social media. You can put a building into the program. You can volunteer. You can become a business that supports us. So please let us know if you have any interest. And that is all I have. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to let Kendall take over and get to our great speakers.
All right, thanks, Connie. And actually, I'm going to turn it right over to Adrienne Bennett. So feel free to pull up your slides, and we'll get started with your presentation.
I'm Adrienne Bennett with Benkari, and I want to thank Connie and her team for allowing us this opportunity to be able to give our co-members of 2030 District an opportunity to learn more about the services that we have to offer them. Benkari, our mission is to gain and maintain clients' trust in protecting our lives and the investment in their continuously improvement team united in purpose. We are Benkari's basics. I don't think I have to read each line. Our members know how to read. But again, our basics are we were founded in 2008. We right with the Great Recession and survived, thank God. We began our contracting operations in 2014, fourth quarter. We are a second generation family owned small business. We are a union plumbing contractor. We're insured and we're bonded. We're proudly Detroit headquarters based, and we offer in construction, maintenance, service, water conservation, water quality, and vector services.
You also have myself, A.K. Bennett, I'm principal and project manager, and then Bill Johnson will also be speaking. He is our service foreman and water quality lead. So one of the things that we pride ourselves is education empowerment. That's one of our values, as you may have seen on the first slide. So we are members of a lot of different organizations that provide us the opportunity to stay abreast of current topics in plumbing, whether it's on the construction side, service, etc. And Adrienne, she's on Michigan, the MCA, Mechanical Contractors Detroit's Executive Board, as well as the National Plumbing Contractors of America's Executive Board. We have members of our team that are on the AGC, Associated General Contractors of Michigan's Diversity and Inclusion Committee and their Safety Committee. I apologize, we got an ambulance going by our location. I am the incoming vice chair for the AGC of America's Specialty Contractor Committee, and Adrienne is also a member of Lawrence Tech, their Architecture and Engineering School's Industry Advisory Board. So some projects And we do construction projects. We also do service work, especially water services and back services. Our goal is to be a one-stop shop for our clients when it comes to plumbing, whether it is building a new building, doing a tenant fit out in your building, renovation or rehab work. We answer the phone if you need a drain snake, if you need a water heater replaced, you've got a pipe burst, etc. And we also have specialty services, which we'll be talking a bit more in detail about today, water conservation and water quality management specifically. And we also, in the last year, have added on back services, which involve sewer cleaning trucks, grease trap cleaning, jetting, and pipeline inspection services. So once again, we're trying to be a one-stop shop. We are a plumbing contractor. We do not do mechanical HVAC. We are plumbing, and we do it well. Examples of some of the projects we've been involved with the past few years: Michigan Central Station. We teamed up with WJ O'Neill to split the plumbing scope for Michigan Central Station for the build out for the core and shell. But Benkari was the initial plumbing contractor brought on board by Chris and Brinker when Ford decided they wanted to take on this transformative project. So we installed pumps throughout the various basements of the building to pump out over 2 million gallons of water. There was a lot of temporary storm work, piping that needed to be put in, and just helping the team really try to get the building dried out because it had not been for, at that point, basically decades, and ensure that it was a safe environment for construction work to start. We worked with the prime contractor to Whiting Turner for the Freeline Sugar Hill, which is a beautiful building in Midtown that's mixed use. We worked with Chrisman at 985 Michigan, which is a federal facility for their renovations, which was a 5-year project. Eastern Michigan University, we just recently completed the renovation of Downing Hall with Clark Gilbane. And in the neighborhoods of Milwaukee Junction and Woodbridge. So the Goodwill Industries Welcome Center, it's right there on East Grand Boulevard. That was a basically full rehab plus an addition to a building. That's a great community space and has community programs that's been going on for the last about 8 years since its opening. In University Meadows, this was with Braun Construction Group. It is a senior complex that stayed partially occupied during the renovation, which was done in phases. So that's just a bit of the projects we've been involved with in the area over the last year on our construction side. And then finally, One Campus Martius and 511 Woodward downtown with Braun Construction Group. We were involved with renovations and build outs throughout existing floors at One Campus Martius, as well as the infill for the new addition that was put into the back of the building. And we worked with Wallbridge at 511 Woodward downtown for the reactivation of that building.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Johnson. I just want to talk a little bit about what plumbing. I am more of a plumber than anything else, first and foremost. But plumbing can protect lives and investments. We do backflow prevention and cross connection control, code compliance and risk management, plumbing system assessments and inspections. Preventive maintenance, which is a huge issue that's often overlooked, that can generally save a lot of money in the long run. Stormwater management and reuse, which is going to be a big thing in the future, along with the water conservation and also the water quality management. This picture right here, the plumber protects the health of the nation. This is kind of an old picture that's been around for a long time. When I was an apprentice, this was hanging in our school, so a lot of special memories of this one for me. But there's also a lot of truth to it. A lot of disease infections have been prevented by proper plumbing.
Lead in the drinking water in Flint, Michigan leaves children at high risk for learning and behavioral problems. Disneyland shuts down bacteria-contaminated cooling towers after cases of Legionnaire's disease are discovered in people who had visited the park. 13 people died, and at least 61 residents and staff are sickened when legionellosis is detected in a veterans home in Illinois. In Flint. What is it? Is it the layers of the Legionnaires? And to help find solutions, we created a pilot policy to educate our staff, to educate our unions, to educate our contractors, and to educate the industry. The first certification is need to have or to understand what they're selling. The second certification for our manuals. It's a definite need out there. Water quality is very, very important throughout the country, and it's starting to be mandated by Medicare and Medicaid, and we feel as though we want to be on the front lines. The water quality issue because water lines can affect somebody, cooling towers can affect somebody, so any UA passion, the service that the pipe fitter, the sprinkler fitter needs to be involved so that we can map systems, audit systems, monitor systems, and also the most importantly is the verify what is being done. We're hoping it's going to be a more proactive approach. That's really exciting. Facilities, but we can also many common infectious disease situations. We have the manpower to be able to do it, and we've always identified that we feel it's our responsibility. The program will touch all sectors of the industry, but most important, it's a step in the right direction to solve America's water crisis and to keep people safe.
Okay, so that video shows a little bit of what water quality management is. Just a couple real life examples that we've dealt with right here in Detroit. One was a large multi-story commercial building. We did a little bit of work in there, and we noticed that some of the new fixtures, some of the new appliances we installed were being damaged, rusting. So we talked to the building owners, talked to them about getting their water tested. We came up with a plan to take samples from around 30 different locations in the building. And we sent the samples out to a lab in Pittsburgh that's actually a CDC approved lab. The results came back to that there was high levels of iron related and slime forming bacteria. There was also high levels of copper everywhere in the building. Now this building sat dormant for a long time during COVID. There wasn't really a management plan in place at that time. So the water basically sat there stagnant and all that stuff was formed in there. There was also large scale buildup in the galvanized pipe in the building. So that was another issue that could have caused the whole problem. Another example we have was a multi-story residential building in Detroit. For various reasons, it was a new building. For various reasons, the turnover and occupancy was delayed for almost a year. We were concerned about the quality of water in there, so we went in and actually tested for that for Legionella. That came back positive in various places. So we did work with them on how to correct that problem. And as far as I know, they have not had any more problems. So I guess the questions we need to ask ourselves are we keeping our building users and ourselves and our staff of these buildings safe? A big issue in water quality is ice makers. They can definitely form bacteria. There have been hospitals where they've actually had Legionella form in ice makers. Does my building have inhabitants and users that are there at the risk of Legionella disease? That's a big one for hospitals, nursing homes, any healthcare facility. Does my facility have galvanized piping as part of the domestic water system? Unfortunately, a lot of older buildings, they do, and they tend to form scale inside, and that can help promote the growth of bacteria and Legionella. Do we have a plan in place to mitigate water quality issues when we lose power or when there is a nearby water main break? That's the concern there is if there is a low pressure issue somewhere, water can be backfed, causing problems if you have a pipe that's dead-ended, which means it's capped and it doesn't move at all. You can pull bacteria back into your system from that. And really the big one that we faced, everyone faced several years ago was building occupancy during COVID-19. I believe in 2021, there was over a 500% increase in the case of Legionella in Michigan. That was mostly due to buildings sitting stagnant for a year or however long that was. I try to forget that period of time sometimes and don't remember exactly how long it was, but yes, so that is a big issue in water quality is stagnant water.
The service and making sure you're understanding your building, their systems, and what's going on. Are you flushing? Are you coordinating if necessary? If the occupancy or the usage of your building has changed over these last 3 years in which the world has changed, have you moved with the times to make sure that that drink of water is safe? If someone's taking a shower in your facility, it's safe, or whatever it may be. Beyond that, we do offer, as we said, plumbing service to our clients. These are examples of some throughout the Southeast Michigan area that we work with, from museums such as the Detroit Historical Museum and the Dawson Great Lakes Museum to the Oakland County Water Resources Commissioner for their treatment plants, the City of Detroit, their police precincts, fire stations, Target, and others. And for our VAC services, we also do work for Wayne County and Detroit State Distillery and others. So we try to serve our clients very well. One of the things we've consistently told is that we show up, we answer the phone when there's an emergency. We push for preventive maintenance and transparency with the needs of your facilities. And we like to be a partner in helping those users understand what's wrong, what needs to be corrected, what's out of code compliance. And hopefully we don't have to hear from you if we get everything taken care of and things are taken care of ahead of time. And then the last item we're going to discuss is water conservation, which is at the heart of the 23rd District's mission. Water is a very precious resource, and oftentimes we are taking it for granted because we are in the Great Lakes state, and energy efficiency has been, all the rage for the last 20 so years or so. But we believe that water efficiency, water conservation, reuse is essential, and Benkari is striving to be in the forefront of this in the next few decades.
Thank you, AK. And I'm back with being able to talk to you now about the water conservation, maximizing your water. The questions I would like to ask, do you have leaks or inefficient fixtures? And are you aware of any building that could be driving up your water bills? Can you lower your overall consumption of water in your facility? Can I reclaim rainwater for reuse in any of my buildings? Is my existing stormwater system contributing to sewage backups into your building, flooding your basements? Should I be monitoring the consumption of water in my buildings? These are questions you should be asking yourself about the buildings that you're currently managing, occupying, and owning. This building here is a building that's located in downtown Detroit. It's the Julian C. Madison building. It's 7 stories. Benkari performed a water conservation inspection. We provided them with a detailed report and recommendations as to their next steps. We replaced outdated full flush toilets with low flush toilets. We replaced 7 urinals, 22 labs, 2 water coolers, and replaced all damaged and leaking pipes. What the results were of that is that we were able to get this work done in a great amount of time with our efficiency. Our team is outstanding. We were able to get the repairs done in 3 days. We did the fixture replacement in a total of 3 weeks. The survey that we originally conducted was 1.5 days, and we were able to save the building owner 50% on their water bill. The next organization, this is the conservation team that we've been working with now for over 5 years. I'm quite sure some of these names that you do recognize. This particular phase of work has been helping the low-income residents in crisis to achieve more affordable water bills and healthier and safer, more affordable homes. The teams are to lower the water bills so they can do this through plumbing repairs, fixture upgrades, and education. Education is so important. With lowering of the water bills, residents with direct limited financial resources were able to meet other and work on critical needs that they would have had in their household. And these residents were able to find a financial gain overall in their household. This particular project was done in an area called McDougal Hunt, which is an older area in the city of Detroit. This was done back in 2019 with the collaboration of Kohler. A lot of us are familiar with Kohler. This was done, and we went in, and Kohler provided the products that we use as far as fixture replacements, and the end results were remarkable. Kohler was able to, with the fixture and with Benkari's teamwork, this particular graph is showing you gallons of water. These are individual homes that are true enough that's showing the savings, the water savings. The red is indicating before the repairs, the blue is indicating the lines after repairs, and the green is the actual savings. The next slide is going to show you the actual dollar amount. Again, the blue is before the repairs. The red is before the repairs, the blue is after the repairs, and the green is the actual savings. And this was done, this was a savings, as I said, with the Kohler fixtures in the McDougal Hunt area. This next project that was done was with the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. And this was with 275 clients that was in the city of Detroit. What we were able to do with this one is very similar. This was over years period. This is going to show you the gallons of water that was saved per month. Now in 2020, which was COVID, so those numbers are going to be rather low. And in 2023, we only did the first quarter of this year. But in 2021 and 2022, you're going to see significant savings. The red is showing you before the repairs, and the blue is showing you after repairs, and the green is showing the actual savings. Here you're showing the dollar amount with the same area with 275 homes. Again, the red is showing before the repairs of the dollar amount that was saved, and this was after the repairs in the blue, and the green is showing the actual savings.
So we try to circle the right direction. very proud of the RAD program and the life-changing impact it has. A lot of the homes that we service through these programs, particularly on the residential side, low income or seniors, who may be on a fixed income, some that are disabled, and they didn't know, just the extent of the plumbing issues in their home. So whether you're looking at commercial or residential properties, you can see significant savings through assessment of your plumbing systems. And you may just not know what's going on and what you can save over, the next 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. So in summary, we like to be a one-stop shop. We strive to be a one-stop shop. And once again, we hope you understand why, as plumbers, we can protect your lives, protect your investments and your properties. Our team is here for you. This is our email addresses for all of us, and you can feel free to reach out. If there's any time, I know we may have gone over our time for questions. Otherwise, we'll pass it on to the next. Thank you all.
Were there any questions, Kendall?
No questions at this time,
No
but yeah,
questions?
we'll get started with our next presenter. Thank you, everyone at Benkari for the presentation. And yeah, if there are any questions, again, just continue to enter them in the chat and we'll have time at the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Tim Powers now for a presentation from Wesco.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. And good afternoon. And I appreciate the opportunity to present to the Detroit 2030 district. We're working with the other districts across the country. Detroit, in your case, we're very happy to see the 60 million square feet that's committed to reducing the environmental impact of the building construction and operations. And when I was invited to this presentation, just wanted to make sure that my alignment was to the property owners and the managers, as well as the professional stakeholders and the community stakeholders. My name is Tim Powers. I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We do have two other Wesco employees on the phone today. You have Hong as well as Vince. Hey, Hong, good morning, or good afternoon, I should say.
Yes.
And then we also have Vince, and they're going to be your local point of contact for Wesco. So who is Wesco and why Wesco? I would tell you that if you're looking for a world leader, not just local leader in electrical, communications, and utility distribution, as well as the supply chain. So think about all the different projects that you're working on. We are a large organization. We'll do over $22 billion this year. We operate in 50 plus countries. We're unified and we have synergies when it comes to the utility distributions. Think of the securities and communications as well as the electrical. Our goal is very similar, the alignment and the synergies around environmental, social, and governance. And we'll be talking about our support within our digital investments. So when you're thinking of use cases, electrical, asset management, it might be your data centers, your building management systems. We are here to support that conversation as it relates to our footprint. We have over 20,000 global employees. And more importantly, I'll just point your attention down here. We have 1.5 million products from 50,000 suppliers, and we'll go into some of those leading brands as it relates to serving you and your customer base. A lot of the different trends, as I think through these presentations, what's meaningful for Detroit 2030 district is electrification. As EV and smart parking and these smart cities grow, how are you working with a partner similar to a Wesco and working through all that end users communication and those vendor partnerships? Because if you were to go to that automation and IoT, so think about all your devices that are not connected, and you're to say to myself or Hung and saying, hey, I need support connecting my devices internally, but more importantly to a network. So we'd be able to come in and help you bridge that gap, connect those devices. It might be within your building management systems, or it could be simply within your warehouse management systems. and we'll talk through some of the different use cases that we see trending across the world. As it relates to our 14 touch points and our domain expertise, so if you're looking through your vendor solutions, and it's going to be important to minimize and really streamline your communication to that one vendor partner, and that's going to be Wesco for your distributor. Top brands, innovative services, but as it relates to automation, broadband, and you guys can go through electrical, lighting, MRO, your safety supplies, but also where we have really done a nice job over the last 100 years is your network as well as your electrical infrastructure. And once we have that infrastructure in place, we really can tap into a lot of the access control through security, utility. It might be as simple as doing intruder detection, smoke, fire detection. So we can get into some of the framework, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're capable of doing as it relates to our businesses within Wesco. Here's a few of our partners. As I mentioned, we have 50,000 plus strong partners that we work with. You're going to recognize a lot of the big brands, and it's important because we have access to those brands in that inventory. At any given moment, we're carrying $1.5 billion of inventory within our warehouses. So supply chain, the integrity of supply chains, as we just went through these last few years and we're finally playing catch up, it's important to have a partner similar to Wesco to provide the inventory just in time for your projects as you're building out with the owners as well as the professional stakeholders. End-to-end supply chain management. There's a lot of companies out there that do distribution, but the best challenge that I would look at is the advisory services. Are you working closely with a distributor that you fully trust in improving your working capital, reducing your inventory on hands, and working through these complex projects? If you're looking for consistency, scalability, and efficiency, please contact Wesco, and we can bring in a lot of these different projects that we work with around the world to do a lot of the installation. As simple as kitting, think about all these things coming to your projects and it's saying, hey, it's all piecemealed to you. Well, we can orchestrate internally through our warehouse and through our employees and give this to you on a really that one-time project delivery versus having all these switchgear projects, all the plumbing, all the electrical coming in a lot of different ways. Our domain expertise as it relates to connected devices, we'll talk through what our capabilities are, but if you're looking through your wireless and a lot of your sensors, you might want to just measure your temp, humidity, you want to look at access control, you want to look at a lot of your cloud computing or edge computing, please think of Wesco. We'll come in and do more of a sit-down whiteboarding and saying, hey, where are your pain points, but also where are your challenges? And the one thing that we'll be able to do that a lot of other folks weren't able to do is that we're going to be able to provide that one vendor solution in 3 different formats. So we will never, ever say, hey, this is the right vendor. Yes, we will have those conversations as it relates to why, but also we have enough vendors where we're going to understand your use case. And that's where we're going to come in more of an advisory service and saying, hey, let's think through those challenges. Let's think through these together because that one vendor might not be the answer. So we're going to come in and give you option A, option B, option C, along with pricing. And that's one of our biggest strong points is having that pre and post sales support of really understanding those industry standards as it relates to our technology IoT roadmaps. We do offer a lot of the consulting services. So we'll come in and do a lot of the technology roadmaps for you and your team. I know resources are a challenge. We'll also help you with the engineering services. So simply as looking at your OT and IT, there might be questions around cybersecurity. How do you look at the realizations as it relates to a lot of the feasibility studies? And then also use us and our organization for lab services. So we have incredible labs around the world. In your case here in Detroit, we'd be able to come out there and do your site visit, do the audits with you and your team. And a lot of times we put the technology before the outcome. And I'm telling the team here today is to think about the outcomes to technology. So we always want to look at that use case and say, hey, what is really defining your challenge? How do we look at our vendor network, come in with those use case solutions and provide the technology around that? This is one of my most meaningful slides that I'll show you today, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of different building projects that are going around in Detroit, and we might have the personas talking to network IT. There might be someone on your team that is working through procurement. There might be someone over in operations, power, facilities, mechanical, whatever it might have you. There's a lot of team members really driving a lot of vertical markets within these buildings. It might be as simple as the airports, all the way through retail, education, financial institutions, hospitality, whatever the vertical market is. We know that there's a lot of different people working on the projects to really hit that end of the quarter, end of the year. But also think of Wesco. We're going to help you aggregate your people, your products, and implementation. And what I mean by that is think about all the different use cases that you work with. It might be fire detection, access control. It could be, hey, Tim and team, I need an audit when it comes to lighting. We're going to come in there and provide that security integrators, the control integrators. This is our biggest strong point, is right down here is number 4. We have the ability to bring in all the different contractors, the integrators, and work through those use cases. So if you were to walk away from my presentation today, think of Wesco being on top here and saying, hey, I'm going to call Hong and Vince and the Detroit team to come on site to do the discovery meeting and really understand my customers, my building owners, my property owners, and bring in the stakeholders to be able to provide quality use case solutions. So this is a powerful slide that we use because we can streamline all this into one connection point, and that is Wesco through Hong being there in Detroit. Just some use cases that we hear and see trend. It might be your smart buildings, but you also might say, hey, I have a warehouse. Can you help us with their warehouse automation? Or you might have data centers tied to those buildings. So if you're bringing back to work folks, space optimization might be important to you. You might say, hey, Tim, I need energy management. So I'm going to speed up real quick, and because this is going to be all done as a service, or we can do this as a CapEx versus OpEx, or we could do a hybrid model to help you financially. As it relates to your spending. So buyer decisions, you always have to have options. And that's where Wesco is going to come in and say, hey, we're happy to work with you if a CapEx project comes up, but we're also to be able to bridge our big Wesco brand with our footprint to do a lot of the hybrid OpEx model as well. This is one trend to be thinking about because this is our number 1 use case that we're working with within our customer base when it comes to building management solutions, property owners, CBRE, JLL, the big ones that you work with each and every day, is asset management, lifecycle management. So think about all the different OT items that you have within the connectivities. Are you guys looking through the switch gear? Are you looking through the servers, the storage life, all your cameras that are physically monitoring? Are you looking through the structured cable? So if you need a platform, if you need a service to be able to come in and collectively aggregate all these different devices within your one building or multiple buildings, or it could be multiple buildings across the entire world, we can help you go and understand your inventory fixed cost as well as that end of life cost. So we can really do a good job of working with you and defining and saying, hey, have you thought about all your assets? Let's get this on more of a life cycle management. And ultimately, when you look through our smart building offerings, this is a line card. We offer a ton of different products and solutions and services. So the walk away on this slide is saying, wow, I had no idea Wesco was able to provide all these different solutions to my challenges. And ultimately, we look at our data centers and our warehouses the same way. So we have a strong line card. And the goal is this: you work in your headquarters, you work in your command centers. We want to give the visibility to you and your team to be managing your buildings efficiently. So that's the operational efficiency. That's the one key here is risk mitigation to the insurances. We're providing a lot of the track and trace, space utilization, energy optimization, but ultimately this is your headquarters and you're going to be providing site-wide solutions. We do the integrated solutions for you, saying, hey, Tim, we just don't have the resources. Can you help us integrate and go through our professional managed services? So I look to the clock and it's 12:15. I definitely want to make sure I'm stopping, but I'll thumb through these just knowing that this is important. If you want to get down into use cases and for us to go and have this conversation with you when it comes to track and trace your physical assets, we can help you with that. It doesn't matter if it's your fleet or people. We will come in and really track anything indoors, your four walls, but also as it goes into transit. We are able to do a great job of your physical security. If you're needing support with physical security, we're working with Hanwha, Access, Flare, the best camera manufacturers, but more importantly, think about the analytics that they're providing. We do a lot of geofencing. We do digital twin, room access. We do electrical circuit monitoring. One thing that's become important is power monitoring. Being able to give your tenants co-location is important. Health and safety, and I'll end on these couple slides. Temp, humidity, smart buildings important right now, air quality, floor surface conditions, and I'll wrap up with lighting, because lighting is something that we can very quickly give you a return on your investment by doing a free audit for you and your team to come on site. So that's all I have, and I'm thrilled to be on the conversation today. And I will tell you that Wesco is a strong supporter of District 2030 in Detroit, and as well as the other districts that are really driving these initiatives. But we're happy to support you and your team. Thank you.
Wow, that was a really fast and right to the point presentation. So I'm a local rep here, and Kathy, would you like to say something about what we're doing for CBRE to support their clients real quickly? Kathy, you're on mute. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling the best today, but I really wanted to make sure that I was able to attend and participate in today's Lunch and Learn. We've been able to develop a really strong relationship with Hong and her Wesco team on our CBRE clients that we work with, and have had great success in several projects that really didn't pencil before we started working with the Wesco team. So we're able to, really expand our project capabilities and the services that we're providing to our clients by bringing in Wesco and their team to these projects. So great support. I encourage you to reach out to them. They work in, as Tim was mentioning, a wide array of areas within the building space. And they can pretty much help you out on anything that you need. So that's about it for today for me.
Thank you so much. And it's more like, I just want to emphasize the point that with us, it's a lot of different options. We vendor agnostic. So the customer will get a chance to evaluate and weighing a lot of different options. So all I gotta say, just start with one phone call and we'll handle the rest for you. Nice to be talking to everybody today. And any questions, just please follow up with us. I'm around. I'm right in Detroit.
Yeah, so Hung's going to be your point of contact locally, and this is the ending slide that I want to leave you with. It's as simply of identifying your challenges, your pain points, getting with Hung and saying, Tim and team, can you help us discovery, go through the ideation, and give that vision and do a lot of the POCs, the proof of concepts. So we do touch upon a lot of different challenges within these buildings, but it starts and ends with that building management system, how we can support you with you and your end users. So thank you again. I appreciate the time, and I look forward to our discovery meetings here in the near future.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tim and Hong. I don't see any questions in the chat, and we do have 5 minutes left. So if there's anyone who'd like to just come off mute, if you have any questions for any of our presenters today, feel free. And if not, we can wrap up and give 5 minutes back to everybody.
Also, just to mention that this was recorded and will be on our YouTube channel in the next couple of days.
The YouTube famous.
So easy to send people to review it. That was great information.
Thank you for the opportunity. Nice to meet everyone.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording. If there's no questions, and everyone have a great afternoon. We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
y'all soon.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a good
you.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.